And we are live. Welcome to Deep in Love Talk Show. It's another gorgeous Wednesday here in LA. And we have a guest speaker who actually is in Los Angeles too. So welcome, Loreina Corwin. We are excited to have you and to hear your story.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Well, welcome. Loreina, would you tell us a little bit about yourself? Let us get to know you.
Sure. I'm 25. I graduated with my bachelor's degree in communication studies from Cal State Long Beach. I grew up in Northern California. I lived in Manhattan Beach for a while, and now I'm in Hollywood. I work with my boyfriend for his company. He's a fashion designer. So JM Couture just showed Saturday night at LA Fashion Week, and we've been super busy with that. And now we're doing tons of photo shoots, and I'm just happy. I found out I had cancer when I was 22, and it was terrible. I mean, I went in for my yearly pap smear, like all women do, and came back that the cells may be abnormal. So I hadn't told my family, no one. I just went in for the biopsy, and that's when the doctors pulled some tissue and realized it was not precancerous cells, it was cancer. So then I was kind of avoiding talking to my doctor because I was getting like 20 phone calls from him, and he ended up calling my mother. And I was in LA at the time for Halloween, so I was at the airport when I finally called him back because my mom had called me, and then I found out. And so yeah, it was pretty crazy and unexpected, that's for sure.
What age were you again when you found out?
22.
Oh my goodness, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, so I luckily had a friend at the time who right away was like, please don't do any like procedures. I want to get my naturopathic healer over to you ASAP. So my family hired me a woman named Carmen to come stay with me for a week, and she did all kinds of naturopathic cleanses and remedies, and I mean taught me how to cook and eat right, and we did a lot of different like cancer curing methods at the time that she was there. I didn't have any meat, I didn't have any sugar, and I mean, I had to put garlic in some crazy places. And we did this hot cold bath where we turned on my bathtub to all the way as hot as the water would go, and I put Vaseline some spots, so I wouldn't burn. And she put all these hot spices in the bathtub, and I had to lay in there for half an hour while drinking 3 glasses of like burning hot tea. And she says she does it for a lot of like movie stars and stuff, they who want to do the cleansing, who she helps out. And she's had grown men cry, people hallucinate, all kinds of stuff. So that was crazy, and luckily my mom was there because she sat with me through the whole process. And then when you get out, you have to wrap yourself in a sheet that's been soaked in ice, and then 3 comforters on top of you, and lay there sweating for 3 hours. So yeah, luckily I had her because I really think some of the naturopathic stuff I did helped out a lot. So
That's crazy. I don't even know where to start. I'm going to rewind a teeny bit. So a lot of my followers and viewers are teenagers and young adults who are either suicidal or extremely depressed or in a dark place. And so you were absolutely gorgeous and smiling, and I know you weren't smiling or maybe felt this way going through that. So if you could take us back a minute to this process and what kept you going, or any positive quotes or affirmations or things that you would tell yourself to help you get through this dark time.
yeah, I was pretty depressed at times, and like I don't even think like anyone in my family like knew. It was really, really, really scary. I guess I kept just trying to do stuff that made me happy, and I never really like let it get to my head that I might like die from it. So I guess I was always just thinking positive, like just what step do I have to take next, and just like really fighting because I've lost my grandma to cancer, and then my other one not like both had it, and so I really knew that I need to be aggressive and like be smart and fight it. So I guess I just was like really on top of it and just always thinking about like the next step, and I would never really let it get to my head, even though it still did sometimes, that it could be really bad. I did a lot of traveling before my last surgery, which was my hysterectomy, and because at that point, that was when I was to find out if I needed chemo and stuff, because they test your lymph nodes for more cancer when they take out your cervix and your uterus. So before that, I did a lot of traveling, and I saw my dad in New York, saw my best friend in Texas, went, for a family vacation in Hawaii. So I kept myself busy and happy and around like people who mattered to me before, because chemo and radiation, it would have been all downhill from there. I would have lost all of my hair, and it's not good for your body, all those chemicals. So.
Good.
But there was times I drank too much wine alone, and I had never ever in my whole life felt like that, like, because it's just scary. I think the worst part is not knowing like what's going to happen next. Like you just have to keep having surgeries to keep finding out more about it. I had adenocarcinoma cancer, so it kind of hides in your cells instead of on the surface. It's like kind of like a more sneaky kind. So yeah, I was pretty depressed, and I've always been like happy and most spirited and cheer and all of that. But during that time, it was really scary because I mean I had added some cervical cancer people through like Facebook groups, and during that time, like two of them had passed away,
Oh,
and yeah, and so like that's not helpful. But I met good people, and I I went and did some naturopathic stuff and got some like nutrients in my veins, and so I'm sitting there with other cancer patients, and thank God not having to do chemo through my bloodstream. But I got to meet some cool people, and like I really don't regret I had to have cancer and stuff. Besides the fact now that I won't be able to carry kids on my own. My ovaries are still there with my eggs, so I'll be able to take them out and put them in a surrogate mom, which is good. But it's still really hard on me knowing that I won't be able to carry my own kid someday.
absolutely. I feel like it's a normal instinct as women that we think we're able to do that, so when we can't, we feel less of a person. I have all the most respect for you. I read in a bio once that you viewed cancer not as a curse but as a gift, and
Hmm.
you used it to light your world. For those that don't know, Lorraine actually donated, her and her boyfriend donated a whole bunch of dresses to a charity event we hosted this past weekend. We brought or had a party for 120 homeless youth. So that was amazing and so cool and so awesome. The girls got to all come in, pick a dress that was hanging up, try it on, pair it up with jewelry, and have an amazing royalty for a day party. So that was awesome. So thank you for
Yeah,
doing that.
I'm excited to see pictures and stuff from that for sure. JM Couture. I mean, that's what it's all about, and the whole team was so excited to donate those dresses for that cause. And I can't believe it was on the exact same night as our LA fashion show.
I
So
know.
we wanted to see, but I'm sure we'll get some good footage. So
Oh yes, it's coming. They're being uploaded. Um,
good.
okay, so you said you viewed cancer as a gift rather than a curse. How did you gain that perspective? How did you flip it around? Did that take time? Did you just be like, okay, I'm not letting it get me down. I'm going to choose to stay positive. How did you get to that? It can't be easy, is what I'm saying. Your
Yeah,
journey, what you've been through, is extremely hard.
I guess I don't really know when I like realized how much I was changed from it, but just looking back, I mean, I lived my life so much differently. Even just, my personal party life, I would just be going out, and I never really like thought that I could be that vulnerable in a place so young. So
I'm sure.
I totally took life for granted, and um, And now I just like every day, like I have an amazing man, which I wasn't really concerned about before. You know, I was just all about myself. And um, just, I really tell people I love them and I try to really forgive when I can. And even though that's one of my flaws is I really have a tough time forgiving people, I've really been working on that. And I mean, I started volunteering like sometimes at the cancer support community in Redondo Beach, which is a nonprofit. So basically, I'd help out with events and putting together gift bags or hanging up flyers. And it's been cool doing some work for them because I get in there and I tell my story to these people who are like going through it, in the present, and they just cannot believe that I had to deal with it too. They're just like, "Oh my God, like you look fine," and that's what everyone assumes. Like even when
Right.
I'm going through it, like people it didn't register to them, you
I'm
know.
sure.
So, so that's been cool. I've just really met a lot of people, and I feel like it helps being vulnerable and being able to be at that point to talk about it, and it really helps other people open up to you as well. Like, I'll be talking about it, if I see a magazine, about something about it, and the girl or the cashier in line, I mean, I'll be like, yeah, I had cervical cancer, and you have to stay on top of your pap smears every single, year because I had no symptoms when I went in. It was just, oh, doctor says I gotta go in. It's my once a year thing. So
Right.
I'll talk about it all the time, and then other people open up to me, and it's really, really beautiful and really cool to have that happen. And just letting down your walls makes people um, just be able to do the same. So that's why mainly I think.
Absolutely. People want to be related to. It's easy to sit back and be like, be happy and be positive and do this. But some of us are like, you don't understand what I'm going through. And a lot of times I know people might think, oh, you're just a pretty girl, whatever. You've never been through anything in your life. But we really have no idea what each person has been through. And I think that's what people can see in you is something that they can relate to, a place of pain, a journey, a transformation that you've had to go through, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I want people to be able to. I think everyone should see past what someone is on the outside because everyone is dealing with their own thing. People can be depressed for so many different reasons, and on the outside, like someone might never know. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So what are your long-term goals then? Where are we going to see you in the future?
Right now we're just working with, JM Couture and getting, my boyfriend's dresses are insanely gorgeous. And it's really fun having celebrities come over and dressing them and seeing them tear up and cry and being like, "Oh my God, I feel so wonderful." Like, I mean, we're kind of like a therapist to some of these people who come over. And so, I think we're going to do more fashion shows and we have
Yeah.
an store going, and right now we're shooting all of the latest collection to put on the online store. So hopefully someday we'll have a Jam Couture store here in Hollywood and just be happy, and be traveling. We're going to Chicago for Halloween, so that'll be my first time there. And um, yeah, right now I'm just taking it one step at a time. So I wake up and I really, really am happy and thank God that I'm here and and that my family is fine and just I realize that life could be like a lot worse. So I mean, my boyfriend and I are that dorky couple who say I love you like 100 times a day. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's good. Yeah, we really just appreciate what we have. So I'm in a happy place. And it's always still in the back of my mind about, the cancer coming back somewhere else. Every time I have like a pain, I'm like, is it cancer in my arm or whatever, But I also think another like good thing to do is just make sure to listen to your body and to talk to your doctors when you feel like anything isn't right. And if your doctor doesn't take you seriously, then get a new doctor because your doctor works for you and sometimes I just hear these stories where the doctor's not listening to the person's symptoms, and then, you know, if you catch it it's just in its early stages, you can really take care of cancer, but it's awfully hard once you wait. So
Absolutely. You know, sometimes it takes a place of pain for us to realize our true potential, or also who we want to be with in life, or what we want to do. And so, as much as we view those incidences as so negative, they actually are a blessing in disguise. You know, it opened your eyes to who you want to be with and what you want to do, and an appreciation for life that you probably may have never seen before.
definitely. And I mean, I was just finishing up with my associates when that happened, and I had always thought, you know, or knew that I was going to get my bachelor's, but that point of life, I wasn't even remembering like my goals and my plans, and I was just so wrapped up in everything else.
Right.
And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to get my associates. So I got my associates while I was dealing with this, and then after I had cancer, I said, screw it. I'm going to move to the beach and go back to school and get my bachelor's degree. And luckily, I have a supportive family, and after I was nursed back to health, I did it, and I moved, and then, yeah, like 4 months ago, I got my bachelor's, so it was good for me to go back. Yeah.
Good for you. Well, maybe one day you'll think about writing a book for us to read.
Maybe. I don't know. I love your stuff. I mean, I saw that you just wrote a book, right?
I did, yeah. I finished it in June.
Okay, so is it like Power of Positive Thinking or Self-Fulfilling Prophecies, something like that?
Pretty much, it's 365 pages, so the idea is you read one page a day, and it's full of hundreds of ways to pay it forward or to spread love. The idea is that by helping others, you're helping yourself. You first have to start with loving yourself, but then by helping others, you're going to increase your own happiness. So it's intertwined with tips, quotes on happy, healthy living, some of my favorite quotes of all time. But yeah, it was a lot of fun writing it.
Aw, well, I'll have to get that. Sounds like something my mom and I would both really like to read. She's totally into that stuff too. And I mean, it's true. Once you help someone, I mean, it makes you feel so good. Even like a $5 hamburger, it's like what that does to your own day. Like, it's great. So that's great. Well, I'm excited to read it. Where can I get that?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's on Amazon.com. It's called Love You, Love Me, Love We. And then it's also on my website.
Cool. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Loreina, it's been an absolute pleasure. Our time has already come to an end. Thank you for being a role model to hundreds and thousands of women, not just here in LA, but all over the country. You know, we can follow your smile, basically. Follow your inspiration for life. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you so, so much, and I will talk to you very soon.
And it takes an amount of bravery and courage to be vulnerable, too, to share your story. A lot of us, especially here in LA, it's so easy to be fake and to be stoic and act like nothing ever happened and you're just living this perfect life, but that's not the real story. So my hat is off to you, and I appreciate you being vulnerable and honest.
Aw, thank you so much, Ariel.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Please come back. Please stay in touch. Hope to see you soon at a fashion week.
Yes, so we will make it to an event, something. Yeah, we need to get together. So
have a good night.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.